You're probably trying to scale your business, but you don't know what areas to focus on to help you grow to the desired height. And this is the Scale series, where I teach you strategies and structures you need to grow your business without burning out. You think that the way for you to grow that business is to pump in more money. Sometimes it may not be a marketing problem, it may not be a sales problem. This system and structure will help you put a foundation for that skill, for that growth you are looking for. Is coming in and you, the founder, you are burning out. Or you, the founder, you are up at night, you can't sleep, customers are calling you, where is my order? You want a situation where your business is able to function without you. You want a situation where you can probably go to the Bahamas, where you can go to the beach, where you can sip your cocktail. Scale does not thrive in chaos. Scale thrives in organization. Scale thrives in structures. Scale is that this bush is burning and I want it to burn even more and I'm adding more fire to it. Do people in my organization know what they need to do? We created the system and the structure for him, and literally he was able to double his revenue. First thing you need to do to scale your brand, the first thing you need to do to grow that revenue, to increase that revenue this year is first. You don't grow by vibes, you grow by systems. I'm Blessing Bossman, growth marketer and business transformation consultant, and this is the Scale series, where I teach you strategies and structures you need to grow your business without burning out. Your business is leaking money, but you don't know where. You're probably trying to scale your business, but you don't know what areas to focus on to help you grow to the desired height. Well, come sit down and let me show you what you need to do. A lot of times, business owners say they want to scale, they want to grow, they want to increase their revenue. You're probably doing 10 million, you're doing 5 million, and what you think you need to be doing now is more marketing, more advertisement. You think that the way for you to grow that business is to pump in more money. But what if I told you that is not just the only thing you need to do? We had a client recently at Pi Media, came to us, wants to scale his business to 100 million monthly recurring revenue. He was currently doing 40 million, 50 million, sometimes 30 million, and his goal was to double that number to 100 million. And then when I spoke to him, asked him a couple of questions, I could literally tell that there were some things wrong in his business, and I needed to uncover that so he would see the areas that it can help him scale. So the first thing we did was to have a conversation with everybody on his team, the sales department, the marketing department, the logistics, the fulfillment team, because he runs an e-commerce brand. After that conversation, after the audit we had with the team, we discovered there were certain areas of his business that were not functioning to the highest capacity. For example, his sales department, they didn't have a structure. They didn't have systems around the sales department. So they were literally running it on vibes. He couldn't even track how many leads the sales team were calling. We don't know what each individual was actually doing. If the people on the team were actually even performing to their highest capacity, even down to the logistics department. So there were so many loopholes. So what I told him that we needed to do was to, first of all, fix the loopholes. And this is one of the key things you need to scale your business. First, you need to audit your business. Before you think about pumping in more money into ads, pumping more money into advertisement, in distribution, you need to figure out what is really wrong. Sometimes it may not be a marketing problem. It may not be a sales problem. It could just be that there are other areas of your business that is not functioning properly. So you need to create systems around it. You need to create structures around it. This system and structure will help you put a foundation for that skill, for that growth you are looking for. You don't want a situation where growth is coming, you're scaling really fast, money is coming in, and you, the founder, you are burning out. Or you, the founder, you are up at night, you can't sleep, customers are calling you, where is my order? Dispatch is misbehaved. You don't want a situation like that. It will feel like your entire business is now a job. It will feel like you've created a 247 for yourself because it's no longer a 9 to 5. It will feel like a trap. And a lot of business owners, they actually feel like their business have trapped them in, where they do not have a life for themselves, where they are constantly putting out fires, where they are juggling multiple things. Today they are doing operations, tomorrow they are doing sales. Probably the salesperson is not doing what is required for them to do. So you are having to fix a whole lot of things. And I'm sure this is not one of the things that you want for yourself. You want a situation where your business is able to function without you. You want a situation where you can take a break. You want a situation where you can probably go to the Bahamas, where you can go to the beach, where you can sip your cocktail because your business is literally bringing in money and your team knows exactly what they need to do for the business to grow. So now you probably don't have, you might not necessarily have an advertisement problem. You just have a system and structure problem. So before we start fixing or before we start pushing for scale, let's even ask ourselves, what do we need to audit in this business? What are we looking at? What do we need to fix? The first thing you need to check your sales department. Now, I'm going to talk about different segments, different aspects of your business and what to look out for in those aspects. Let's talk about your sales department because this is literally what brings the money into the business. Talking about your sales department, how are your sales team closing deals? How are they following up? You know one thing, a lot of business owners, their sales comes from immediate action. If a customer comes to you and the customer buys, that is recorded as sale. But where a lot of business owners do not also focus on, and I've seen it happen across multiple businesses, especially businesses here in Nigeria, businesses that have worked with a lot of my clients before they start working with us, one of the key things that we notice is their sales is just first time sales. They don't go back to leads that did not close that day and follow up on that leads. Sometimes people may come to you, doesn't mean that they are ready. They may not even be ready that week. They might just be there to make inquiries. And people's buying decision changes. People are constantly, attention is really low online right now. So there's so many things that are grabbing the attention of people. So you want to ensure that the person that has contacted you, you are able to follow up with that person. And another thing you need to have in place is to have a place. It's more like a body, a CRM. You need to have a home for the leads, a database for the leads that are coming to you. One of the mistakes that you're going to make in your business is not to be able to track your leads and to put them at different stages. That's literally one of the places that you are losing money. If you find yourself in a situation where the only place that people are making inquiries is just your WhatsApp DM or your Instagram DM, and you don't have a structure where once these leads are coming, you are collecting their data, you're collecting their information, or you're even tagging them properly or putting the right labels to these people so you can do a proper follow-up. And it's okay not to have a CRM. Some people don't have CRMs. Some businesses may not even require that, especially when you are a trader, buy and sell and all of those things. Some businesses may actually not require that. But you need to grow from that. You need to grow from using just WhatsApp. You need to grow from using Instagram just to collect, to have conversations with people. You need to start thinking of how you need to funnel them into a proper database so you can get their names, their phone numbers, their emails for proper follow-ups. Aside your sales team doing a proper follow-up, you also need to ensure that your sales team are saying the right things to your customers. Sometimes majority of the times. It's not that people are not coming. It's not like leads are not coming. But is your sales team actually speaking to these people the way they ought to speak to them so they can be moved across the funnel and converted into paying customers? So these are some of the key things that you need to look out for. First of all, like I said, you need to look at the way people are coming to you. You need to look at your follow-up system. You need to look at your database, and you also need to look at how interactions are being done. Now, look at your marketing department. That's another place that you need to also audit. When we talk about marketing, it's more of a mental work. How is your marketing team communicating? How is the brand being positioned out there? You need to ensure that your brand is rightly positioned to attract the right customers. The reason why you may not even be getting the kind of businesses, the kind of clients, the kind of people that you want to patronize you may just be your positioning. Now, let me give you an example. Take two fashion brands. Let's use the popular Vicky James. I bet you it's only natural that before somebody goes into Vicky James' DM and say, Vicky James, I want to patronize you, the person knows that he has to pay heavily. You can't have 100,000 naira and say, oh, it's Vicky James that is going to sew my wedding dress. It's impossible. Why? She has positioned herself and she has grown to become that household brand that can literally attract those kind of clients. But if you charge like Vicky James, you probably charge in millions. Probably the wedding dress that you make for your customers are luxury, like you claim it to be. And then your positioning, where you take your pictures, the models you use, how you invest in your content does not match or fit that positioning that you claim to have. I bet you would attract the wrong people. There is no amount of ads that can fix that. A lot of business owners complain on the internet, oh, the people that are coming to meet me, they are not my ideal customers, they are not this, they are not that. You need to literally check your positioning. You need to check your messaging. How are you communicating online? Are you talking like a market woman? Could that be why people are actually not patronizing you, or why your brand is not scaling? Are you just selling and not building a brand? These are some of the key things that you need to audit. These are some of the key things that you need to sit your team down and say, okay, we need to scale to 100 million naira. What are some of the things that we are currently doing, and how can we improve what we are doing so we can get to our desired height? And aside your marketing and your sales, you also need to look at your operations. How do you operate as a business owner? When your team come to work, what do? Do they know what they need to do? Do you have a system to track people's activities? Do you have a system to track people's performance? Or you're just running on vibes? Are you the type of business owner that you don't even know what is happening in your business, and all you do is pick up your phone, oh, have we done this? Have we done that? Oh, the customer is calling. Oh, send this order. Do this. If you want to scale, you need to be prepared for scale. Scale does not thrive in chaos. Scale thrives in organization. Scale thrives in structures. Scale thrives in places that people know exactly what they need to do. That is where scale thrives. Scale is more like adding fuel to already burning bush. Scale is not, oh, the bush is not burning and then you are adding fuel without any fire. Scale is that this bush is burning and I want it to burn even more, and I'm adding more fire to it. That is what scale is like. So for you to be able to add that fire and you not being consumed, you need to ensure that people know exactly what they need to do, and it needs to be documented. So if you look at your system and you ask yourself, do people in my organization know what they need to do? Do they know when to resume, what time to do, what they actually need to do? And do you have these documented, that if a new person come into the business, you are able to hand it over to them? If you don't, then you have a problem that you need to fix. Also, you need to look at your systems. You need to look at your SOPs. You need to look at your customer service. Literally, you need to break your brand down. You need to break your business down. probably even get a third eye view, a bird eye view over your business, someone with the expertise that can look at your business, that can listen to everybody and tell you, oh, this is why I think you're doing wrong. When we looked at our client's business and saw all the areas that needed fixing, we created the system and the structure for him, and literally he was able to double his revenue. He was able to do way more than he is currently doing. Why? Because he started fixing the problems in his business. And this is the power of audit. Audits help you in knowing where is leaking, what is going wrong, what can be improved, how people can improve themselves in order for you to scale that business. So, dear business owner, the first thing you need to do to scale your brand, the first thing you need to do to grow that revenue, to increase that revenue this year is, first of all, looking at the business, opening it up like a book. You open it out, you call everybody. Okay, you, what are you doing? How are you doing it? You get everybody's insight, and then you create systems and structures to ensure that all of those things that are wrong are functioning properly. And that is how you'll be able to grow without burning out. So you want to scale your business? First of all, audit it. Look at your sales, your marketing, your operations, your systems, your SOP, your customer service. Look at all the different departments in your business. Find what is missing. Find the opportunities. Find the areas that are not actually performing to the highest capacity and start fixing it. And that's the first step to scaling your business. Listen, you don't have to figure it out all alone. That's why I'm giving you a free 30-minute strategy session for us to figure it out together. Just click the link in the description box and book your spot. And it's okay if you don't want to talk on the phone right now. You can leave your biggest question in the comment section and I'll be there to answer.